Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make this glitter tumbler using Helios glue and Hyperion and epoxy-free top coat. Tumblers like this are a labour of love, so they will take patience. But if you'd like to learn how to make this yourself, then please keep watching.
So first things first, because this tumbler is white and the glitter we're using is a very deep purple, we need to give this a base paint colour first. So I'm just going to give this tumbler a good sanding down just to get rid of that sublimation coating that is put on all of these stainless steel tumblers. And then we're just going to basically prep it for the paint. So to make sure that there are no oils like from our hands or bacteria or anything like that, we're just going to then give it a quick clean. I use 99% isopropyl alcohol. I get mine from Amazon, so I'll link it in the description for you. And then your tumbler is ready to be painted. I'm just going to wing it a little bit with these paint colours. So I'm just going to use, so this is the glitter. This is from my shop. It is called Dopamine Menu. Forgot the name of my own glitter then. And so in order to create a sort of similar base paint colour, I'm going to mix this one, which is called Iris. This is just from Hobbycraft. It's just a regular acrylic paint. And this is also from Hobbycraft. This one is called, oh, Matte Peony Pink. It's just like a hot pink mixed with a purple. So I'm just going to mix the two until I get a shade that I feel is matched to the glitter. Okay, I feel happy that this colour is a good enough base for the glitter, so I'm just going to go and paint all over the tumbler. And you want to go quite heavy with this because you don't want, like, if you do like a really thin coat and you end up with like white streaks, yes, it will dry quicker, but you will have to do a second coat anyway, so it's pointless. Just going quite heavy-handed with that paint and just cover the entire tumbler. And then once you're happy that you've got a nice full coverage base paint on your tumbler, you can just leave it to dry for however long it takes to dry. Once it's dry, you can come straight back in to do your glitter. Right, it has been a couple of hours now, so my base paint is completely dry. So now we can go in with the first coat of Helios and the first coat of the glitter. And then we're just going to flatten it down. What you really need is like a wax paper or a greaseproof paper to flatten down the glitter once you've poured it onto your tumbler. But I don't have any of that, so today we're just going to use regular paper. So for this bit, all you want to do is hold your tumbler tilted downwards and literally just pour directly onto the tumbler. Don't worry about using loads and loads of glitter because the paper underneath it will catch it anyway. And then you can just pour it straight back into the packet when you're done. And then I find personally the easiest way to do the base is to literally just dip it into that leftover glitter that we've just poured, because that will give you a pretty good coverage for the first coat. Look at that colour. Just look at that. So as you can probably see, where the glitter has just been poured freely, it has landed at all sorts of angles, which means it really sticks out all over the tumbler. That is not what we want, because then you would need like 1 billion coats of Hyperion to flatten it down. So just to help with that process, this is where the rolling in the paper comes in handy. You have to be quite careful with this because obviously you don't want to be taking the glitter up or smudging the glue around. So just take it slow. Sounds like you're walking through snow. Please make sure when you do this that you actually have wax paper or grease-proof paper. Don't do as I do, because this isn't the best option. It's just, this is all I have to work with here. There are still a couple of bits here that can be flattened down. If you do it really gently, you can do it by hand. Just be really careful. But you can see already the difference this has made, how much flatter this is looking already. So once that step is complete and you've got the glitter flattened down as much as possible, you just need to leave it on its drying rack. I usually leave it like this for a good couple of hours just to make sure it's definitely dried down. And then you can go in either with a second coat of Helios and a second coat of glitter if needed, or you can just go in with a second coat of Helios, quite a liberal coat, and that will act as your seal. It just depends if you need a second coat of glitter or not. So I will judge that when this is dry. This has had long enough now. It's nice and dry and is about as flat as we're going to get it. So I'm going to go in with the second coat of Helios and the second coat of glitter. When it's the second time round, you will need to be quite a bit more liberal with your glue, because obviously it's now going to get soaked into the existing glitter and not just onto a smooth base. So don't be afraid to go quite heavy-handed with the glue. Don't panic when you see your whole tumbler go like overcast with white and have like a white cast on it, because that's just the wet glue. When the glue is dry, it will be completely invisible and your tumbler will go back to being super sparkly and the same color just like it was 5 seconds ago. It's just because the glue is wet. So then you're just gonna do the same process again. You just wanna pour the glitter all over it just like you did before. And then you will see again, it's all sticking out all over the place, but the coverage is so much better. Hello, right, I'm so sorry I'm back. I don't know how many days ago it was since I last made this, but I do know where I got to with it. So this has now had its base paint on, 2 layers of chunky glitter. But what I haven't done yet is sealed the glitter with the Helios crafter's glue. So I'm gonna do that now. It needs to be quite a thick coat just to really seal in that glitter. And it will also help, well, 2 things. It will also help keep the glitter flattened so that when you start with Hyperion, you're working with a much flatter base rather than trying to go straight over the glitter. But also it will help almost prime the tumbler for Hyperion, because it will kind of give that clear gloss kind of effect so that when you go in with Hyperion, it's primed and ready to go. I hope that makes sense, so here we go. I didn't really think this through with the outfit that I put on today because these sleeves are just ridiculous, but anyway, we are where we are. This has actually been drying overnight, but you may be able to hear it is still tacky. So the glue will always dry tacky no matter how long you leave it. But now this is ready for the first coat of Hyperion. So with the first coat, I always do what I call a flood coat, which basically means you use double the amount of product that you would normally use. And I always do this for the first coat just because it provides a better foundation for the rest of the tumbler, especially because it's going directly on top of the glitter. So I have got here 20 milliliters of Hyperion. where normally I would use 10 millilitres for a 20-ounce tumbler. So my method that I use is I pour into the middle of the tumbler and I brush down, and then I to get all of that on, and then I do the same again, brush into the middle of the tumbler and then, pour into the middle of the tumbler and then brush up. I just find that gives the best coverage. So this is coat 1. When you brush the Hyperion on, all you really want to be doing is guiding the product on with the brush that you use. This is just a makeup brush. This is literally just a Wet n Wild old makeup brush. I just find that these are the best. You don't need a paintbrush. You just want something really light and fluffy that is going to literally guide the product onto the tumbler rather than brushing it, because you don't want to brush too much because then you end up with streaks. The only thing you do need to keep an eye out for is pooling, and pooling is basically just where too much product gathers in the same place. So just make sure it's nice and evenly spread out, not forgetting the base. So when you're happy that your whole tumbler is covered and it's got a nice even coverage, just leave it to spin for 1 hour, and then you can turn it off and leave it to air dry after the first hour, and then come back after the second hour is over to recoat. It's actually quite cold in this room, so I'm gonna leave mine a little bit longer, but as long as you're at, room temperature or house temperature, you can leave it for an hour to air dry. Right, we are back. So the first flood coat is dry. Let me just turn the spinner on. So now we can do coat 2, also a flood coat. So this is also 20 mils of product, same process again. So we are now 11 coats in, and it's time to apply the UV DTF. So I've had a little look through the designs that I've got. I think I'm leaning towards the Love Sucks and then use the black bats and hearts to fill in the gaps if there are any. Let's get this UV DTF on. So anyone who has ever seen me make a tumbler before will know that I don't tend to apply the UV DTF wraps as a wrap. I tend to cut them up and then place the individual like decals wherever I feel fit. So that's what we're going to do with this one. So I'm just going to cut out, so the Love Sucks, the main cauldron in the middle, that is obviously going to be the centerpiece, and then all these little pieces around it will go wherever they fit. So let's cut this up. So now we have got the centerpiece, the Love Sucks centerpiece. I'm just going to put that straight onto the middle. If you do need any guidance on how to apply a UV DTF, I can make another video on that. They also, all of my UV DTF wraps come with a printed instruction like leaflet on how to apply them, but it is quite straightforward. You essentially just put the UV DTF down, make sure you squeegee it or rub it down so it's completely adhered, and then you just peel off the backing and you're good to go. So now we're going to do coat 12. I am going to do a flood coat for this for the simple fact that it is over the top of the UV DTF. So I just want to give it a little bit more protection really, if I can. So we're going to go with 20 milliliters of Hyperion. This is going to feel like so much, but I'm just going to get as much of it on as I can. You might be able to tell, because this has already had so many coats, there's not as much like sinking in of the product into the glitter, because obviously the glitter is not exposed anymore. So you will see it goes on much more easily and it will just sit on top. So you just have to be careful of it not pooling, and pooling is basically where the product gathers too much in one place. So if you do see that, don't worry too much about the white milky look, because that will dissipate as it dries, but you just want to make sure that there's not too much product gathered in any one given place.